Start, Ujjal.
Okay, we are live.
Drishti will say hello.
We are live now.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. A warm welcome to you all. I am your host, Dr. Meenakshi Bhattacharjee, bringing to you all another webinar session on gender and sexuality with Enajari. At the outset, I would like to brief you all about Enajari for those of you all who are with us for the first time today. Enajari means the bond of love. It signifies unconditional love. And it is this bond of unconditional love for his native land that brought back Milind Datta, the founder of Enajari, from US to start a non-profit organization in 2018. And Enajari engages and promotes numerous initiatives that are striving for social change, honing leadership skills and building entrepreneurship capabilities in the Northeast, including Assam, are to name a few. For the last 2 years, we have been engaging with speakers from various fields via virtual media to create a network among the people working in the region. Today, we are in conversation with Ujjal Protim Bora. He is going to talk on the topic, the journey of establishment of a queer collective of Golaghat Puhor. About Ujjal. Ujjal is 18-year-old. He's a gay man who has gave his 12th board exam this year. He is the founder of the group Puhor, a queer collective of Golaghat. They are working under Drishti, a queer collective. Puhor has conducted 2 meetups this year. Ujjal believes in feminist ideology and the power of love. His hobbies are writing poems, acting, and traveling. We welcome you and we look forward to listening all about your wonderful journey. Over to you, Ujjal.
Good morning. Good evening, everyone present here. My name is Ujjal Protim Bora. I'm basically from Golaghat, Assam. I'm 18 years old and I gave my HS exam this year from Reliance Senior Secondary School from science stream. And my hobbies are writing poems, traveling and acting. And I also like traveling especially to historical and archaeological places. And I identify myself as a homosexual cisgender male. Hello?
Yes, we are there.
Am I audible?
Yes, we are there.
Okay. So yeah, first I would like to introduce about myself, about my experience as a homosexual cisgender male. So from childhood, I was quite feminine. I have felt like I'm different from other kids. When I was in class 3, there were some of my seniors who used to flirt with me. You know, that fun wala flirt. They used to flirt with me, and that flirt were quite special for me. I was like, don't flirt with me, but don't stop also. I was feeling good because when someone give you attention, you like it. And at that time, I realized that I have some feelings for boys also. So from that time only, I started exploring myself, my preferences, and from class 3 to class 6, I realized that I was more into boys. At that time, I was a little bit confused because I used to think that why is this happening to me? All of my other classmates are either having a boyfriend or a girlfriend. A girl is having a boyfriend, a boy is having a girlfriend. So having feelings for someone of the same gender was a very strange thing for me. Even at the around class 6 and 7, I thought it was something wrong. It was something unnatural, or there is something wrong with myself only. Then when I reached class 8, I got a smartphone. Then at that time, when I was in class 8, I googled about myself. At that time, I was not aware of the terms of the different terms of LGBTQIA. But I used to know a little words like at that time, gays and lesbian. These words were very famous because when I was in class 8, that was 2018, and in 2018, legalization of same sex relationships were going on, the conflicts were going on, the protests were going on. So these thoughts were very common at that time. Even some of my classmates used to tease me when I was in class 6 and 7. They used to give me different tags that you are that, you are transgender, you are very feminine. They used to call me chakka, that then other derogatory words. And at that time I felt very bad, because for me those words were very harsh. I was just a six class student or a 7 class student, and I was feeling very bad at that time. But then I realized that instead of feeling bad, I should use these words as a motivation. And from that time only, I studied very hard. Some of my classmates hate me, not because I'm gay. They hate me because I score better than them. I was the second topper of my class in class 10th. So at that time, there were many children, many of my classmates who were jealous of me because I got more marks than them, and they are also jealous because that also like me. I was good in acting, I was good in dancing, then I was good in other co-curricular activities, and I was also class captain from class 7 to 9, 3 years. So they were like very jealous of me. So they have tried many times to do things against me. They have tried many things to manipulate me, to make me felt bad. So at that time I realized that we, the queer people, the LGBTQI people, need a safe space, a safe surrounding where we can talk, where we can discuss about our problems, about our thoughts, about our future events that should be held in our places, in our districts, in our uh, institutions. So in 2021, when I gave my 10th board exam, actually that was not my, actually that was COVID year. I passed in COVID year. So when I gave, after giving my exam, after clearing the exams, one of my friend told me, he was one of my friend from Lakhimpur. We met each other on Instagram. He told me about the group Homonnoy, that the LGBT group of Guwahati. He told me about that group, and at that time I got my personal phone, so it was safe for me to join any queer group. So he gave me Sivdas number, and I joined that group. And from joining to till now, I have seen that they have done a lots of work. Compared to me, they have done a lots of work in just 2 years. Many meetups, many counselings regarding STDs and STIs. And few days after, almost 1 month to 2 months, I got to know about Drishti, a queer collective. Then I got the link to join the group. Then I joined there. Uh, After joining there, I feel a little bit of courage, because Guwahati is a organization, is a queer organization, which is Guwahati's queer organization, Homonnoy, is quite far away from Golaghat. But Drishti, the organization is quite near to Golaghat, because Drishti is based on Jorhat. It is based on Upper Assam. So it was a little bit of a hope of a ray of hope for me when I came to know about Drishti. So I messaged Ritupanada. Then I told him that I'm gay and I want to join this group. Then he added me in that group. And for many days I was not taking any steps. I was busy with my studies. Then around August 2022, I asked one of my lesbian friend. Then I discussed with her about creating a group. Then she said that, wow, it is a nice idea. We should create a group. Then I created the group named Puhor Queer Collective. And I was there. I was the founder, and she was with me. But at that, when I initially started the group, opened the group, there were very less members of Golaghat, because main problem is, even if there are many queer people in Golaghat, they don't want to join the group because they feel insecure, or they feel like their number will get shared. So while adding someone to group, I informed each and everyone that this group is completely safe and no one will message you until and unless you don't take permission. So like that, I added many people in that group. I added my some of my gay friends of Golaghat whom I know. Then I added one of my transgender friend, one of my intersex friend. I also asked many people whom I meet in Instagram or whom I know who are from Golaghat. They are also belong to the queer community. I added them in the group. In this group, there are many people. Like there are people from Bokajan, there are people from Horvatha, there are people from Borbatha, there are people from Bokaghat, there are people from near Kajiranga, there are people from Numoligarh. Like it is full of people from different areas of Golaghat. So this was a very happy moment for me that uh, I was able to add I was able to form a queer collective in a place like Golaghat where people are very conservative. Then when I first started this this activism, this activist walk, I have faced many problems because there were like many people who criticized me when I told like any of my friend, like there are many straight friend also, they are saying like they used to comment like, okay, it's okay if you're gay, but why need to create this why need to create this group, what is the need of creating such groups, just live your life, don't involve in these things. There were many people, they were like commenting like, oh, you should not do it, you should only uh, think about yourself. But at that time, but I realized that it is very necessary for us to create a group, because especially when someone is queer, they have very less people whom they can share their problems, because Indian parents, they are very conservative, they are very strict brown parents. So and there are some relatives, they are very strict, they don't believe in these things. And so I created this group. And in my family also, one of my cousin is a trans woman. He identify himself herself as a trans woman. And I have also asked him about his journey. Then he told that, but he is a very she is a very his pronouns sorry his pronouns her pronouns are she. So my family used to call him with the pronouns he, because they still don't know about pronouns. So she's a very courageous female. She have encountered many problems in her life. She is currently in Hyderabad in a beauty parlor. She is working in a beauty parlor in Hyderabad. I have asked her about her journey. She told that when she is much younger than me, she is almost 28 years old, and she told me that there are many people, there are many queer people in Golaghat whom I don't know, but he know, but they are very afraid of joining such organizations. And I also asked him, do you want to join this group? And he then she joined the group because she's open about her preferences. So I have also asked her friends. She knows some of her friends who identify themselves as trans women, and I have also joined them. So my main motto now is like join as much as people I know, because there are many people in Golaghat who still don't know about our group. That's why I created one Insta page named Puhor Queer Collective. This was created around April, because at first I was not I was not creating any type of group in type of page in Insta. Then I realized that I should create a group, because through this the people of Golaghat who don't know about the group in WhatsApp, they will definitely come to know about the group through Instagram. So I created the group created the page in Instagram, Puhor Queer Collective. Then I started posting their pics of our first queer meetup, then our posters about our queer meetup. Then till now we have conducted 2 queer meetups. One was in January 22nd and one was in April 23rd. The first one was conducted on Jugibil, which is a tourism type place in Golaghat. So we conducted the meetup there. In that meetup, almost 15 people were there. And there were people from Drishti, like Darshana Ba. Darshana Ba is a feminist. She is, of course, she is a part of Drishti the Queer Collective, co-member of Drishti the Queer Collective. Then she joined us. She is basically from Dergaon, which is a place in Golaghat. Then she told us about how to do the things, how to approach the people, how to approach the institutions about doing more LGBTQIA awareness programs. Then there are also some of our allies joined us. There were more allies than the people than LGBTQI people. There were like lots of allies. Like many of my straight heterosexual classmates joined there. Heterosexual girls classmates joined there. They were very happy. They were like some of my like the girls of my class love me because my bonding with girls are very good, but my bonding with boys are not so good. But yeah, I feel more comfortable with girls because they're more accepting. So many people, many state allies joined there, and one of our doctor, I forgot her name. Say one of our doctor of our civil hospital. She is an TB doctor in working the TB department of civil hospital Golaghat. She joined us and she discussed about our problems, about our journey, and all of my friends, or my lesbian friends, my transgender friends, my trans women friends, trans men friends, all of us discussed about our problems, about our journey as a queer person, about our experience in life, about the homophobic comment, the homophobic reaction we go through, and how to deal with those homophobic reaction. And at that time, when we conducted the first meetup in Jugibil, there was not any problem. It was completely okay. Everything was going fine. Everything was going smoothly. But when we conducted the second meetup, which was basically held in Jugibil is quite far from Golaghat town. It is almost 5 kilometers far away from Golaghat town, and the transportation is not so good. So like public transportation is not so good. That's why the second meetup was conducted on a park, Simanto Sankardev Udyan in Golaghat, and the second meetup was held on 23rd April. When we conducted the second meetup, uh, everything was okay. There were total 8 members who joined there. Others were unable to come due to the bad climate, and that was Sunday. So we shared the poster in Instagram, right? So there were some homophobic people who came to know about us, that we are creating this group, and we're conducting meetups in different parts of Golaghat. Then some of the people, homophobic people, came there just to watch us. They don't have courage to say anything to us. They don't have any courage to say anything to us. They just came there and they just started clicking pics without taking our permissions. Like if you're clicking someone, you should take their permission, right? You should ask. You should maintain everyone's privacy. So when we ask them that why you are clicking our pics without our permission, then then they get afraid. Some of them get afraid, and they went away from there. And when I came back home and started posting pics of our second meetup, the homophobic people who were against us, the people who were against us, created a group named anti-LGBTQ community. They created a group and they commented a very homophobic sentence in our post. So when I checked their ID, the bio was God created rainbow just to show the 7 colors, not your illness. So that was a very homophobic bio. So I messaged him personally and I told them that it is not an illness. Even the Indian Psychiatric Society have said that it is not an illness. It is completely normal and it is completely okay to be gay, lesbian, bisexual, or the part of the queer community. Then we started arguing. Then he started giving me some unnecessary points. So at last he was unable to argue with me because he don't have any logical points. He was giving unnecessary points. Then he blocked me in Instagram. He blocked me in Instagram. Then after taking some of my pics from my for Instagram page, from my Instagram page, he's he put it there in there. He started writing bad things about me in that page, that anti-LGBTQ page. He started saying that I'm ugly, I have acne marks, I have scars on my face, I have men boobs, then I have 58% body fat, and they started commenting bad things about me. And there were some of my friends who were informing about myself to them, like I'm conducting some things, right? I'm conducting a meetup. So so some of my friends who act like they are my friends, but they were actually not my friends. Actually they are doing things against me. So it is quite difficult, especially in a place like Golaghat, to do these things, and especially in public places, because there were many people who used to think bad about us. There were many people who used to give uh, homophobic comments about us. And when we conducted our second meetup, uh, there was one of a trans woman who was joining us, and anyone can recognize her a trans woman, like, so other people also recognize her as a trans woman. So one of my one of my friend who was my classmate of my previous school, he said that uh, আজিকালি গোলাঘাটতো হিজৰাবোৰ বাঢ়ি গৈছে. He said that. So that was a very homophobic comment, right? Like no one had the right to say that. And there were some of my classmates who also created a group in WhatsApp against me. I don't know why they hate me. I don't even care about them. I don't even know their name. I don't know what they are doing. I don't know what their name. Like after 10th, I left my previous school, KV Golaghat, because in that school I faced many discrimination, lots of discrimination. My classmates used to pull my pants to check what I have, what genitals I have. They used to pull my pants. So uh, they used to do lots of mental harassment, also physical harassment with me. But my teachers were quite supportive. When I informed them about my problems, they solved it. But still, after facing discrimination for such a long time, for like almost 6 to 7 years, so I feel like I can't stay here. Even if they don't tease me now, I don't want to stay here. I want to remove the memories. So I changed my school after 10. I went to Reliance Senior Secondary School from KP. Also, I was second topper in my class. So I would have get easily a seat in KV in science stream. But still, I changed my school because at that time I was very I was in need of some peace. I was in need of some peace. Then in 11, some of new students joined in KV Golaghat, and these new students are doing things against me. They are doing things against me, and I don't even know their name, and I don't even care about them, and I don't even know their name, what their name is, from where they are. I don't even recognize their faces, but they are doing things against me. And the main problem is nowadays many people are homophobic because they think that being homophobe is cool. I don't know from which logic being homophobe is cool. So they think that if you are homophobic, you are cool. And if, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Yes. So many straight boys think that if you are homophobic, then you are cool. And if you support the community, then you must be either part of the community, or must be you are not the definition of a typical man. You know, like our society have a definition of a typical man. Like a man have to keep beards, a man have to be rough, a man have to be physically strong, a man have to take all the responsibilities, a man have to know how to ride a vehicle, how to do all the manly things, a man have to dominate other women. So they believe that if you are supporting the community, then you are not cool, and if you are being a homophobe, you are cool. So some of my heterosexual classmates, male heterosexual classmates, they are there to support me. Like, Ujjal, okay, I support you. But when they are in a group of homophobic people, they will be like, oh, I can. They are against me because at that time they want to look cool. So they portray themselves as a homosexual just to look cool, but they don't know about the truth that being homophobic is not cool. Hello?
Yes, yes, Ujjal.
Okay. So,
So, Ujjal, I have a
and
question here.
okay, okay.
So much you have been this so much, like, listening to you, I feel like, you're just 18. So I feel like you have been through so much. So what was it that you were thinking at that time, and how did you keep yourself strong at those times? How did you have the courage to go tell your teachers, or how did you like prepare yourself to like come out? And who supported you through this, and like how did you like do it, so that like many of us who are might be going through such a phase would like to like know how do you like keep moving despite all this?
So one thing good about my family is, like, they have never complained my about myself. Like they have never complained like you are very feminine. You know. Now I'm less feminine. I have beards. I have beards, although I have cut it because I have some act. I have to do some acting. Then my family were very supportive, especially my mom. If she came to know that anyone is teasing me, anyone is disturbing me, she will definitely take steps, because my mother is a very protective mother, like very possessive. She cares about me a lot. And my father is very good. He always care about me. Like, for my parents, I'm the first priority. Like, they have never complained about me, like, don't walk like that, don't talk like that, be more manly, join the gym to have more muscles to look more good. They have never complained about them. And when I was growing up, one of my friend, you know, one of my neighborhood friend, he's also gay. So at that time we were like best friends. We used to share our problems to them, to each other. Then but he's not much open about his sexuality. And I can't even complain about that because his family is very strict. Like, if his parents came to know about it, they will definitely beat him up, and will give him very lots of torture, will torture him a lot. That's why he is not much open about his sexuality. But in our village, he knows about me, and I know about him. So at that time, we were companion to each other. We are like best friends. We have shared everything about us, about how we have faced discrimination. He was 1 year senior to me. 1 year senior to me. So at that time, he was very helpful. And because I have one of my cousin with whom I'm very friendly. Uh, but in class 6, she went to hostel. So at that time, I was very lonely because she went to Navodaya hostel, and uh, my friend was only there. My gay friend was only there to listen to me. And at that time, when someone used to bully me, uh, I used to think that there is something wrong within me. Till class 7, till class 7, I used to thought that there is something wrong within me. At that time, I started to act like a typical straight boy. I tried to act like like I tried to be more manly. I tried to look more macho, that typical definition of a man. But uh, when I reached in class 8, I started exploring about our community. I learned that I really don't need to do all these things. I should accept myself as I am rather than portraying myself as someone else. Then I also believe in God. Like I'm a very religious person. I'm a big devotee of Krishna. Even few days ago, I played the role of Vishnu in Assamese Bhavna. I was playing the role of Vishnu. That's why I cut my beard because Vishnu need to be clean and cut.
Wow, that's lovely. Like you are like, keeping, our roots alive. Like Bhavna, like a person from your generation is doing. It's so nice to hear about it.
Yes. Actually, I live in a village, so these things are quite common, and I really love my culture. Like I love uh, I love acting. Especially, I play negative character in dramas. I play negative character. I'm known for playing negative character, but this time I played the role of Vishnu because they said that this role will suit for me. This role will be best for me because they said that I have the best qualities to play this role. So I played the role. So then I'm a very religious person. I believe in gods, and I think that no matter what people will comment about me, no matter what they will say about me, God will be always there. If I am right, God will be always with me, and God will always help me. So that was a very big motivation for me to fight through these problems, through these
So,
homophobic comments.
yes, like you said that you had this friend and you had the support of the family, right? So not
Yeah.
everybody is lucky enough to have parents supporting them, or sometimes parents need time to realize, or like come to they take time to accept, like your children the way they are, and sometimes you might not have that friend. So how do you think Puhor can in how do you see Puhor's future as like being that friend, or being available, or being there in that rough phase of your life? Like how do you see Puhor like helping people of the community?
Okay. So till now there are like 30 members of Golaghat in Puhor, and there are also members from Guwahati. There are also members from Drishti who are in the group Puhor, and till now there are many homosexual friends I have met till now, and they have said that they have always felt lonely because they either have very homophobic parents or their friends secluded them because they think they are different, and they have always faced they are always in a need of a space where they can feel comfortable. And when we conducted the second meetup, one of our member, a gay man, joined us, and he told that till childhood, till childhood, he is now 19 years old, and he has faced many discrimination. He has gone through many discrimination, and he told me that till now he haven't met anyone who is supportive. He belonged to a very conservative family. According to him, his father used to beat him just because he is feminine, just because he is interested in doing cross-dressing, he is interested in doing makeup, he is interested in wearing girly clothes. So I think that by creating this group, uh, he felt very good. He felt safe with us. He joined us. He was very happy, and he almost cried at that time when he first met us, because out of joy he started crying, because he was feeling very lonely, and he was not having any queer friend. He was not having any uh, person with whom he can talk. So I think that Puhor is doing incredible work, not to its not so good, but still I'm trying my best to do my work and trying my best to solve each other problem. And I told him that if you face any type of physical harassment in future, then I will definitely talk about this to Rituparnada or Safda. They will definitely take action against it. And I told him that if anyone else than your family treats you badly in anywhere, then he can definitely take steps against them. And I have encountered many queer people who faced cyberbullying in internet, and I told them about cyberbullying, about cybercrime, how to report a file there. And I also informed them about the different problems, the different health issues our queer people go through, the different STIs and STDs, which are very common right now. I told them about the contraceptive methods through which they can protect themselves from this disease. Because nowadays we should not be ashamed of talking about sex life. Like it is a very normal thing. Sex is a very normal thing. I don't know why it is such a taboo in India, in Assam. Like if you started talking about sexual health, people will definitely judge you. They will think that you are a pervert. They will think that you are a pervert. But I think that many queer people go through such problems. Many feminine boys go through rape. Many boys go through rape. Many are rape victims, so they go through rape. And through rape only many gay people get STIs. Like I have encountered many of my gay friends who were raped by their relatives, who were raped by their cousins, and who were raped by teachers or anyone close to them, just because they are feminine. And I have encountered many lesbian friends. Like one of my Punjabi lesbian friends, he is from Punjab, Chandigarh. One of her brother raped her just to cure her sexuality. So that was a very terrible thing for me, like a brother raping a sister, right? So after listening to her story, I almost started crying, and I felt very sad for her. Then I informed her about how she can take actions against them. I informed them about our organizations, then the different organization of Chandigarh. Then I told her that if in future she faced such problems, she can definitely take action against them. And there are many people who are still exploring themselves, right? Like there are many people who are either confused or they think that they are wrong. Like in class 6 and 7, I used to think that something is wrong within me. I am doing something wrong. Everything is right, but I am wrong. Everyone is right, but I am wrong. There is something wrong within me. So there are many people who are now exploring their sexuality, who are now exploring their gender identity, their preferences. So I have started educating people about our community. Like I have conducted one one not conducted, like I started discussing about these things in our college, in Reliance College. Um, in when I moved to Reliance College, my friends were very friendly. I told them about our community, and there were like many people, many boys, many girls. They were very interested in knowing about our community. Like they were asking me lots of questions. They still don't know what is the difference between a gay and a trans woman. They still don't know how uh, gay couple can have babies. They still don't know how to pronounce, and I educate them about these things. From 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 these things, I have learned that, like, through taking small steps, you can definitely change the world. Like some of my classmates who used to be very homophobic are very friendly now. They're like my supporters, and they are like, even they are like, if there is any pride parade going to be conducted in Golaghat, they will definitely join us. Like some of my straight heterosexual male friend will also join me, because they're like very friendly, they love me. But my classmates of old school don't like me. I don't know why they have such lots of issues with me. Like I don't even know their name, and they are doing things against me. I don't even know their name. I don't even recognize their face. I don't know anything about them, and they are doing things against me.
Sometimes,
And
Ujjal, probably like, if you say about your school friends, like what I feel, like they were also little boys or little girls. So they
hmm,
might have formed this notion when they were little. And sometimes notions which are formed are like deep rooted in our brains, right? So
yes,
they are
yes,
just acting out of it. But then your friends, which you have met in your 11th and 12th, they are more mature. They are more
yes,
aware of the rainbow community, and they are more case. That's the benefit of doubt, like I would like to give, because every child is like, God sent.
yes, yes.
Right?
So I have I have encountered some of my teachers, some of homophobic teachers. One of my Christian ma'am, she is a very conservative Christian ma'am, uh, Christian person, and she she was very friendly. She joined our school when I was in class 8, and my bond with her was very good. So at my first come out story, I first came out to her only, because she was one of the teacher whom I trust the most. And when I told her about this, she said that she will pray to God to cure this thing. So you can say that she is very educated. Like she's a teacher in a KV, and being a KV teacher is not easy. Like you have to be very qualified. She's a very educated woman, but still she was saying these things. So I think that literacy cannot guarantee socially progressive mind. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're correct. Yes, literacy is just like, having that degree, probably. Being more
Yes,
accepting is what we need. It is not
yes,
about religion, caste, or creed. It is what, like, it is in our head. Like, you cannot say, like, some religion are more accepting or not. It is the human nature. Just like you said, literacy cannot, like, guarantee that the person will be
guarantee.
more accepting. Likewise, the religion cannot be determining the person's behavior.
Yes. So see,
Yes.
then one day when I shared one link for petition, gender neutral toilets, the petition for gender neutral toilets in my WhatsApp status, then she said that uh, like she have posted some articles about homosexuality in her Insta page, or sorry, in her Facebook page, and she shared the link. And when I check the link, when I read the article, then I realized that she was saying that if there is God, there is devil also, and if there is heterosexual people, there are homosexual people also. And she was trying to say that this homosexuality will lead to end of this world. And in that article, she said that one can cure this homosexuality just by being a good devotee, just by staying away from LGBTQI community, and by being a strong-minded person. According to her, if we can one can control their brain, and they can cure their homosexuality or their um, gender identity issues. Yeah, it was written like that. And she said that I am not pressuring you to do all this thing, but please go through the article. And when I go through the article, I started saying about our community. I started telling her about our community. I shared her some videos, YouTube links, which told us about the LGBTQI history of India, and I asked her to watch those videos. And then again, she started arguing that if there is God, there is devil. So if there is heterosexual people, there is homosexual people. So she started arguing like that. She started saying that these things are wrong. These things are not correct. And when she also said that one day the world will come to end because there will be more because homosexual people cannot reproduce. Then I said that okay, if and they are against the nature because homosexual couple cannot reproduce, that's why they are against the nature according to her. Then I said her that uh, infertile couple cannot produce child, so are they also against the nature? So then also she started giving me some unnecessary points which were totally illogical. Then I asked her to stop this argument because I was also tired. We almost argue for like 2.5 hours. Then
So what do
till now,
you, like, from all this experience, what do you appeal like to the people? Like, what change do you want to see in them? Like, what do you want, you know, them to do so that, like, you know, people from the community feel more safe? Or like, how do you want to like put your message?
I want to tell the people that rather than believing in religious texts, you should go through the scientific books. Like there are many scientific researches about our community, about LGBTQI community, and they have said that this is completely normal. Like being queer is completely normal. There is nothing wrong about it. So I think that people should get educated about it. And I think that like there are many articles about homosexuality in English. In newspapers you can see there are many articles about homosexuality in English, and there are many people who don't know English, right? So I think this thing should also be taught to the people in local languages. Like there are many people who don't know English. If it is written in Assamese, they will definitely able to read it. They will definitely know about it. So I think that the newspapers or anything, or any type of information page or websites who are writing about it, they should also write about these things in their local languages, so that people can learn about it. And I think that homosexuality should not be considered as against the tradition. And there are many people who tell us that homosexuality is against the nature, but it is completely not against the nature. Like it was something that homophobia is something brought by the Britishers to India, Section 377. And I think that many people think that like the caste system, the caste system was something that was very prevalent in ancient India, right? there were four levels of caste system, right? The Vaishnav, Kshatriyas, then Sudras. There were like four classification. Then, but that was considered as one of our tradition. But we people remove the tradition, right? Because we know what is correct and what is wrong. So even if homosexuality is not in our tradition, we should accept it because, like, because uh, this wall need to be more accepting, and people need to feel safe and secure among ourselves. The only language of the world should be love. We should love each other. We should feel safe with each other, and we should not we should not discriminate, or we should not judge any other. So I think this is my appeal to people, that be more accepting, be more friendly, be more uh, open-minded. Don't be conservative. And even if you don't know about anything, then don't comment on it. Like like I have seen many people who don't know about homosexuality, and they don't even react about it. Like when I told one of my classmates, he said that he don't know about it, and I'm okay with it. He don't know about it, okay. He have no he don't know about it, it's okay. I will teach him about it. But telling about something without knowing about it completely is totally wrong. Like like there are many people who still don't know that homosexuality is completely right. So rather than believing in some facts told by anyone, you should rather research about it, right? And I think that India, as it is developing day by day, the same-sex marriage should be legalized in India, because there are many countries where same-sex marriage is legalized. So I think this will definitely bring a very good step for us. This will definitely be a very good step for us, and we will be more comfortable, and we will be more happy if same-sex marriage is legalized. So this is my appeal to people: be more accepting, be more friendly, be queer friendly, be part of the LGBTQI community, be an ally. And there are many people who are like who don't even know about the meaning of the word ally. When I tell them that he, she is an ally, they, them is an ally, it means that they are not from the community, they support us. And some of them also feel uncomfortable to be an ally, because they think that, oh, if I support the community, they will think that I'm lesbian, I'm gay, I'm trans, they will judge me. So I for all the allies, it is my request that no one will judge you. You can tell them you are an ally, you support them, rather than thinking about the consequences. You should be freely accepting and open-minded. And I also think that the educational institutions should teach children about gender identity, about sexuality, and other things, because from childhood level, these things are very necessary. Because when we teach them about these things in class 8 and 7, they will come to know about it, and they will be more accepting. Like, yes, they will be more accepting, and it will be more helpful for the queer children who have gone through the problems. Like I have gone through many problems, and in Reliance College, I have taught many of my classmates about this community. So like they are like very friendly right now, and I think that by taking these small steps, by taking small steps by every queer person, by every member of the LGBTQI community, we can definitely erase the homophobia, the transphobia, the queerphobia in this world.
So, yes, the message is to accept everybody without any judgment. Like, there's no harm in a person being
Yes,
any way. They're not causing any harm. They're just being the way they are. So there should be no harm in like not accepting them, right? Like, Okay, so tell me one thing, like if you want to start your day, entire day, what are the changes you would want to see out there in the society, or in your school, or or in the places you come across in an entire day, starting from the bus stop to this, to the school, to the, to the market area. What changes do you want to see around you that can make
At first,
a queer friendly environment?
at first, I think that in every public places there should be a gender neutral toilet, because every trans woman, every trans man, every trans person go through many problems. They have to hold their pee for hours because they are not comfortable in using any of the toilet. Because when a trans woman go to a women toilet, go to a ladies toilet, the ladies used to judge the trans women, because some of our trans women used to have a little bits of beards, and when they go to the men toilet, the gents toilet, they have faced discrimination. They go through rape. Like I have read many articles in uh, Google that the trans women are getting raped in while using the gents toilet. And even when I was in class 7, one of my one of my senior pulled my pant because he think that I'm a girl. At that time I was very feminine. I used to be chubby, and my face was like golumulu type, and I used to have more like female features on my face, and I used to be very clear and clean. So at that time they used to think that I'm a girl, and my voice was also very sweet. Now it is quite heavy, I guess, but when I was in class 7, at that time I was very feminine. So I think that in every public spaces there should be gender neutral toilets. And one another thing I would like to ask the people is, even if you encountered any trans woman, any trans man, any trans person, you have no right to ask about their gender identity and and sexuality, gender preferences, unless and until they're comfortable with it. Like you can't just go randomly and ask the person, are you gay, are you trans, what is behind your clothes? So I think people should be more humble. And if some, like I have encountered many people, like when I was in school, one of my junior came to me and he asked me what is behind my clothes. Like it's none of your business. I told him it's none of your business. Like, no one have the right, even if you think that someone is trans, someone is part of the community, you have no right to go and ask them that are you part of the community, because it is something very private. Like no one is, not everyone is okay with it. Like if someone asks me about my sexuality or preferences, I'm okay with it. I will definitely say them that I'm gay, I'm a cisgender male. I don't care about other people, but not everyone is comfortable about it. And rather than like if you meet any trans person, you can ask them their pronouns, like what they are comfortable with, rather than pronouncing the name wrongly. You should ask them
Mispronouncing.
about their pronouns. And one
Right.
should never ask their previous name, about their
Right.
previous story, their previous life, like how you changed your name, what was your previous name, what is your name in Aadhaar, what is your name in passbook, what is your name in birth certificate. So
So,
like I have
Ujjal, don't you think that is human nature? Like, many people, uh, they seem to overstep the boundaries. They don't know, like, this is this fine line you should maintain. Like, for example, if I will tell you, if I have people very close to me who are left-handed. So, as a
mm,
child, they would be asked questions like, "Oh, kunha hari bhat khua?" Oh, so you
yes,
understand, they're like, these are subtle questions which people should know they should not ask, but then they still ask. So what you did is right. Like, we should learn to say like none of your business. So I think then that
yes,
will send the message like, like don't ask. They will say none of your business. So that is how
yes.
we say. It's so nice.
Even
Yes, Ujjal, it's so nice listening to you, like the entire journey of Puhor, how at such a young age you have like the heart and the courage to like, think so much for the people of the community. So it's so nice. Like, and I understand, I hope our audience understands that like the message is so, it's such a simple message, like, be humble, be accepting, be accommodating, like, and that like we should inculcate teaching programs and awareness programs so that like when somebody is going through times, then they are like they know that they are correct, they don't like question themselves, right?
Yes.
Yes. So thank you, Ujjal. With this, we come to end of today's session. It was so lovely having you, like such a young mind with so many, things to say. Thank you so much, Ujjal. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.